Hello and welcome to this textbook companion video series for Novare's Earth Science, God's World, Our Home by Kevin Nelstead. In this introductory video, we're going to go over what you can expect in these resources, and we're going to get started with the format. On every slide, there will be a heading, which is basically just the main idea being discussed on that slide. Underneath, distilled, compressed, compacted in outline form is just the textbook material, just the facts that are being taught in the book. Over here, I'll be doing a lecture, so to speak, just an amplified reading of that outline. Now, I've decided not to reveal items point by point on this outline because over here on the right, I'm trying to keep a pace that would be appropriate for an auditory learner, someone just listening to review. Now, if I kept that pace on the left, I think anyone taking notes would be left behind fairly quickly. So I'm going to keep everything up on screen the entire time. You don't have to wait for this stuff on the bottom to show up. So if you're taking notes, you can just pause the video at any time, get what you need, and then resume. And anyone who's using these videos just to listen doesn't have to wait for the note takers. All right, what is this useful for? If you're a teacher, you'll find this useful for lesson planning, or at least I think you will, because this is all based on materials that I developed while doing lesson planning, teaching this class. None of the illustrations or examples or conversational language that make the textbook a pleasure to read. This is just the stuff you need to know as densely and as quickly as you can get it, because sometimes you need to review this stuff right now. If you're a student, whether you're falling behind and need to catch up, or whether you were sick for a day or two and you have work to make up, this could be just the review you need to get back with your class. In the classroom, there is no substitute for a teacher with a lesson plan. But if the teacher can't be there and you don't want the class to stagnate or progress through the textbook to falter, you might find these videos a helpful way just to keep the class moving in your absence. Lastly, since there's a fairly substantial overlap between the homeschool market and the Christian school market, there may be some homeschool families or co-ops who are using this textbook who will find this a valuable resource as well. As far as the textbook goes, chapters have objectives, which are the main ideas for each chapter that you need to know before you can move on. So, down in the bottom left corner, whenever a chapter objective is on the screen, that chapter objective will be noted in that green box. So you can pay attention to that for the big ideas. Same thing goes for the learning checks, the reading comprehension and review questions at the end of every section. Whenever a question from that section's learning check is being discussed in the material on screen, the blue box will tell you. Well, I'm very grateful that you've considered this resource and that whether you're a teacher or a student, you may find this useful for your school year. My name is William Estes. Thank you very much.